Howdy, everybody. Welcome to the Front End Horse live stream. I am thrilled to be here. We have our good friend Cassie Evans here with us yet again. Cassie, I don't know how I keep getting you back on the stream. I've got you scheduled twice for like the same, like you were on the schedule 2 times. I'm not saying that you've been on the stream twice. I'm saying that like you're on today, and I also know what date that you've already said yes to in the future, and that just makes me so happy. So I know everyone in the chat feels the same. We are thrilled to have you back. Cassie, how are you doing today?
I am doing really good. Yeah, I don't know how you managed to get me on so early, because I know that when you asked me to do the previous one, although the next one, I was like, I'm really busy at the moment, so that's the earliest I can do.
Yeah. That was...
So
That's like December.
somehow
I
this
think
has
like
happened.
2 months ago, I was like, hey, do you want to come back on? And you're like, yeah, how about like December? Because that's like, I'm not free till then. I'm like, yeah, sure, whenever. And then I think someone
You told me
in our
that the
channel,
forum was leaking.
Yes, yeah. I made a joke, and to the person in the channel, actually, we should tag them in Discord because,
Yeah.
shoot, can someone find that in the animation channel? I think someone asked something about like, how does this work? And that's how we actually, that's why we're here today. All right. That person brought this all together. So if someone could tag them, was it Croybot? No. I don't know. If someone could scroll up a bit and find that, maybe it might be an animation. I'm not sure. But basically, I just DM'd Cassie, and I was like, your forum's leaking, just because someone was asking for GSAP help in our channel. As a joke, I love that people were asking for help with us. Samuel, good to see you. We have fantastic people in the chat. Creative Ocean, good to see you. Tom, Mike,
Hi, Tom.
Got Jace here. Adrian, great to see you. Brent, B1 Mine, good to see you. Steph's here. Like, just fantastic people. Thank you for being here.
All the peeps.
But yeah, so community, you did this. You were asking questions, and Cassie said, why don't I just come on and we can go through some stuff? And I'm like, yes, okay, of course, yes, that sounds fantastic. I'm Ahmed, great to see you. Thank you for being here. So yeah, you've got some stuff planned. Liam's here.
Whoa,
Nats is here.
that's cool confetti.
Yeah, we got some. Whatever people can come up with. Steve's here. Oh, we got some fantastic. Did we tell Tell the creatives, Steve and Liam and anyone else, say hi. It seems like they might know, but I'm not sure. Also, if anyone in our Discord, the Front End Horse Discord, doesn't know, the whole crew's here. Awesome. Andy's here. Wow. I'm just going to keep sitting here and saying names, just saying hi to people. I'm just greeting at the door. Cassie, you can take the whole like GSAP thing. I'm just going to stay at the door and say, hey, welcome. Coat rack's there. Snacks are in the back. Cassie is speaking in the back. Hi. Good to see you. But no, we should get into some stuff. But if someone doesn't know you, Cassie, can you give a brief intro of who you are?
Who is Cassie?
Cassie? Which Cassie are you?
The overview. Oh yeah, there's 2 Cassies at the moment.
You now have 2 usernames in my Discord. In our
because I'm
Discord.
an old lady and I'm incapable of learning Discord properly, so for months I've just had 2 separate Discord profiles and I don't know how to delete them. So I'm just
it's literally like new phone who dis, kind of like just like DMing me from different Cassie accounts. All right.
Yeah. So apart from being completely technologically incompetent on Discord, I'm okay at coding. So I make lots of like fun SVG stuff. I basically like making the web a bit more fun, because I got started with coding back with like Neopets and GeoCities and stuff, and that was great. And nowadays things are a bit more boring. So yeah. And I work for GreenSock now. Hooray! And I get to help people make more fun things. So that's basically it.
Such a cool job. Steph, thank you so much for that sub. Gifting it to Lars, our good friend El Suxo. Steph, thank you. And Amit's here. And Mike asks, who is Brody also? That's a very important question.
I'll go get him.
Yeah, now that Cassie's gone, I can say I really booked Brody, everyone. That's really who I had booked for today. So Cassie's going to do her whole like GreenSock, yeah, yada, yada. It's great. It's cool. We're gonna be like, wow, that's really interesting, and then we'll bring Brody back in. All right, so don't worry. We're gonna do it. So everyone just act like you're like, oh, animation's really interesting. I'm so interested in that.
Little birdie. This is Brody. He's the best.
He's great. He's really, really cute. And we're
You
gonna have
really
him
like
sing
singing.
later. Yes. On Discord, Cassie, I'm gonna have to teach you how to do
The
this.
audio cuts it off, doesn't it?
So yes, but there's a little thing. Let me just make sure I'm not like showing anything off. So yeah, down at the bottom here on Duo, if you hit noise suppression powered by Crisp here, if you click that and turn that off, that's what's Crisp does not like Brody singing. So if you turn that off,
Brody.
yes. It's coming through. Most of it is.
So good, Brody.
Most of it's coming through. We're getting way more than last time. Still cutting some off. Good job, Brody. That was great.
Good.
That was great. I need to fix today's list. We're gonna check out CodePens in a bit. Questions in a bit.
Hi, you coming back up? Hello. Hello, that was good songs. We're just gonna do this for the whole stream.
That's what we're honestly, yeah.
Hey,
I love it.
Hi.
He's adorable. Oh my gosh.
Great. My neighbors love it as well.
Oh yeah, I'm sure. I'm sure they're just like
it's great. Especially because he does it first thing in the morning when I wake up. He's like, oh, I'm awake, and he just like does little songs. Which is great.
If someone can find it on Twitter, the opera Brody clip is one of my I've shown it to people who have no idea who you are, and they've cracked up. They've loved it. It's just a timeless clip. It's fantastic. All right, so we got good Brody stuff out of the way. I'm actually gonna check that out of order because I messed up putting it in there. But so do we want to start off by talking about what just came out in is Cassie on Twitch? Good question. Not yet, or just no right now, right?
Not yet. I think at some point potentially. I think it's like maybe a next year thing.
Cool.
Yeah.
Yeah, good question. Thank you. And Ben says Brody is like 2 seconds out from turning into the THX intro, like the I think that's what he means, like the. Cool. So so you just had a big release, right? GreenSock 3.8. Am I getting the number right?
3.8. Yeah. You can go to the blog post, I guess.
Ooh, where is blog?
You go blog up at the top.
Nice.
Yeah. I can't see the questions very well on my screen. I have to be like super close. So if anyone asks
for the chat, that's a good point. So I can I can read out any chat questions to you. Don't sweat it. Or you can just be an inch from the camera at all times.
We'll just do it like that.
That's quality content for the chat.
At my forehead wrinkles. So yeah, 3.8. It's very exciting. That I shouted about one feature of it on Twitter yesterday, which is probably the one that I'm the most excited about. Called Fast Scroll End, and I've basically been putting together a talk recently and doing the talk. I did a talk to people in real life for the first time, which was terrifying.
That's really exciting, though. That's really exciting.
Yeah, it's really good. But yeah, I've been doing a lot of UX research and kind of looking at how scroll animations affect different people. And a really good insight was the fact that people get frustrated when they're focused on a task and they're just trying to scroll down to get to a bit of information. When you have entrance animations, they have to wait for everything to ease into place in order to read the thing. And now, usually I'd say don't animate text, animate secondary content. That's usually the best way to do things. But sometimes it's nice to fade in sections. So kind of like this demo here, if you scroll down slowly, you get the nice animations. But there's a new feature called Fast Scroll End, which is just one line that you add to a scroll trigger. And then when you scroll down fast, above a certain velocity, which you can choose yourself,
Nice.
it will just complete all the animations automatically. So it will jump them to the end state, which is super cool.
That's what's going to happen right here now, right? Like all those came in way quicker than they were set to had you not had that feature on.
Yeah. So I think I've put a CodePen demo in this tweet thread as well. If you scroll down.
This one?
Yeah, that's the one. And then you can do some scrolly stuff yourself.
Scrolly stuff. Yeah. So first off, this is one of I like there are a bunch of great GreenSock plugins. I feel like ScrollTrigger is a lot of people's favorite. I feel like it's
the most popular.
Yeah, like and it's only like like 2 years old maybe at this point, tops.
Yeah, it's the plugin baby. But it is definitely the most popular.
Yeah. Yeah, so coming in slow, and then it's set so that when I go through again, it's going to reanimate. But if I go fast, it's all going to kind of come in nice and quick because I'm just looking for that information. I don't want to have to sit through 10 minutes worth of animating. I love that this started from research. Like that, I think is something that not enough or at least I don't feel like enough people go to first, right? Like you're going out and finding, okay, this is what users actually want. This is what is best for different groups, and you're giving us the tools to not just make something that like gets a lot of attention or moves in really cool ways, but actually
we do that too.
Yes, but that is almost like so like the thing of animation and accessibility are sometimes feel like they're at an odds, so, with each other, where it's like you're either choosing one or the other, and I think that solutions like this can be that happy marriage between both, where kind of similar to using
prefers reduced motion.
Knew you'd have it. Prefers reduced motion. If I can say it, I couldn't think of it. Can't say it. Just gonna leave it alone. It allows you to allow for the user's preferences when it comes time for scrolling and animating in general. So
we've discussed making prefers reduced motion a little bit easier in GreenSock as well. We haven't started making any steps towards it, so I can't promise anything, but that has been a discussion.
So 3.9, you should expect it. No. Jack, that was me, Jack. Thank you for those follows.
Alex says we have to do it. I think that it's good to make stuff like that a little bit more simple for developers, because I think that people know that they want to do animations accessibly and stuff, but sometimes you've got time constraints, and if it's a hard route to get there and it takes time, like you could have done this with GreenSock beforehand, because you could technically tap into the velocity, and you've got control over timelines, so you could do it yourself.
You could roll your own,
but it would be a roll your own solution, and that's immediately going to make it out of reach for quite a lot of people on the average project. So I think it's good to just have little one-liners.
Got it. Just sorry, super quick. Did that actually work? First off, Jace, I had no idea that I had that as a feature on the chat. Did that work, chat? Can anyone talk? Or did Jace just turn on emote only chat? And I don't know how long that lasts.
What happened?
Okay, no, we are good. Sorry, Jace. So there's a popular thing on Twitch where people can do emote only chats as like a feature, sometimes just to cut back on like people saying awful things and just leaving it to emotes, right? But there was apparently that's a feature on my thing that doesn't work. It just takes your points. Sorry about that. Cassie is on Twitter. I'll drop this whole thread here, and then you can follow them. No worries, Chase. No, that's on me for having it available. That's not at all on you. So I was just making sure, because if we're like, Cassie's here to take questions, and everybody's just like dropping emojis, it would be chaos. So
that would be easy.
Just wanted to make sure. Yeah. We have poop emoji, question mark emoji. Just cool. So
actually,
that was,
bonus points if you managed to ask me a question about GreenSock using only emojis.
Yeah. Nice question from Ben. Here we go. Or at least the comment from Ben. Super glad to hear better support for prefers reduced motion is coming. I can definitely second that JS solutions for animation are accessibility challenges in part because they don't tap into user preferences.
I think it's good to note that it's not like better support for prefers reduced motion, because you can already use prefers reduced motion quite easily. You can just wrap, what I usually do is I'll just return out of the animation the function that's creating the animations if someone doesn't like motion preferences. So
do we happen to have it in here in this one? Does it happen to have that? No worries.
Don't happen to have it in that one.
Is there any ones that like, does this one happen to have it? Just so that we can
none of our demos do, because people would get confused if they weren't working.
Oh, okay. That makes a lot of sense, where it's like if it's off. Yeah.
Oh, I can send you a good demo actually of prefers reduced motion with ScrollTrigger. That's actually a really...
You can tell I've already been down this rabbit hole.
Yeah.
Oh, it's funny. Look at that. It's pretty good SEO. I mean, look at that. It's not too bad for garbage site. No. my own site just came up, Cassie. I know you weren't looking. I wasn't calling yours.
Was it?
Cool.
So if you search... Wait, I can send you this on Discord. It's coming in as the other Cassie.
Okay.
I'm different Cassies on each of my laptops.
I don't know who to trust, because one sends me conflicting information. That's the issue.
Yeah, there we go. Click on that one. So there's lots of ways to already utilize.
Where did you send it?
In the stream text chat.
Stream text. Okay. Got it. Thank you. Yep.
Awesome. So yeah, there's lots of ways to utilize prefers reduced motion already, but kind of not within timelines. So because you're in JavaScript land, you can just check for the preference and then only animate if it's okay. But I think that we're thinking about maybe making it something that we can have inside a timeline.
Got it.
This is a really cool example, because this is using ScrollTrigger has an option called match media, which is usually used to create segregated timelines for different screen sizes. And then you can create, say, a mobile animation and then a desktop animation. And then only when that media query matches will it run that. And then it will kill those timelines when they don't match anymore. But because prefers reduced motion as a media feature, we can use the media feature instead. So we can create reduced motion timelines, which is always really key, because reduced motion is reduced motion. It's not no motion. And a lot of people will use no motion. But usually opacity fades and simple animation is fine. And it can be confusing to have no motion, because there's sometimes motion that's used for leading users around pages, or kind of indicating when stuff is happening or when like certain actions are completed or successful. And if you don't have any animation, it can actually be worse for the user experience. So it's often quite important to make reduced motion and normal animation timelines. That
was I'm so glad you said that, because I definitely have that kind of mental model of reduced motion. You kill it, you nip it in the bud right there, you stop it. But what you just said makes so much sense, where like if an animation like shows you a file like flying up and going into a folder, like it, like that helps the user understand, okay, that file has gone there, right? Like that's just the one that's coming to mind. Where if you just go bloop and it just disappears, and you don't kind of have any indicator or any like any different kind of animation or way of letting the user know that something happened there, they get that worse experience.
It's important because you have some animations which are just decorative, like a lot of the stuff that I do with SVG. It's just decorative, and it's fine for that to just fall back to an illustration. But there are a lot of animations which provide context or orientation for people, and it's important that you don't remove the context and orientation just because they've got vestibular disorders.
That's a great point. And I think also one thing that I've seen a lot of people ask about, and I'm definitely curious myself. Do you know, or if you don't, maybe the chat would, of good resources to kind of find that, or to find out, is my animation going to cause an issue for anyone with vestibular disorders? Like what? So you just mentioned like opacity fading. It can be okay. Like I don't know which would be okay, which might not.
So it's usually like big swipey animations, like anything that includes parallax, like that's disorienting. Whereas static animation, so opacity fades or color changes, then it's not moving. So that's usually I mean, it's fine for people with vestibular disorders, but then there's also people that have like ADHD, maybe might not want lots of distracting animations happening next to text. Val Head's written some really good content about that, and the Nielsen Norman group also does a lot of good research on animation.
Awesome, thank you for that. Cassie, Ox Sharmaj asks, Cassie, when's the next SVG and animation workshop coming up? You just wrapped, right?
Yeah, just wrapped. I kind of thought that this one was going to be like, oh, maybe this is the last one. I'm sure people will have like had enough of the workshops by now. We've already got like an almost full waiting list for the next one. So yeah, that's really exciting because I just get to teach more people.
It's fantastic. I've heard nothing but rave reviews and people coming out like making such cool stuff. So yeah, I don't see any reason
I'll send you a link
for
really
you to
quickly
stop.
so you can
never stop.
We can look at something that someone's made.
And Adrian says, yeah, I used to have reduced motion on my old iPhone 4 to make the device work faster. Yeah, that's a perfectly good use case too. If you just
that's a really good idea. Actually,
you're using it to get things done and just to get the information, and you don't want to run the extra battery for the whimsy.
So yeah, in answer to the question, probably looking at
is this from Jack?
Early half of next year. Yeah, this is from Jack.
Jack, nice.
Yeah, she makes amazing stuff. So this was a illustrator who came along to my workshop.
Is it cool if I drop that in the chat?
Yeah.
Awesome.
Yeah, and she didn't have much experience with JavaScript in general, or any experience with GreenSock, and she's made such cool things. Really great.
Does this have a hover animation? Yeah. Nice.
Hover animation on that one.
That's really cool. It's just gotta be such. So like, she's a very good illustrator. I remember you posted, or I think she might have introduced herself in your SVG workshop Slack. It's like, wow, like, these illustrations are just like you can clearly see.
This is a little scrolly one. Scroll down on that one.
Oh, nice. That's awesome.
I love it so much. So good. Just like using ScrollTrigger and a scrubbed animation.
Style is fantastic. Yeah, and yeah, like just so good. And I think she streams as well, right?
Yeah.
Yeah. So very cool stuff.
Yeah, definitely check out Jack's stuff.
Yeah. Awesome. Will's here. Will, great to see you. And Adrian learned that you can embed CodePen in Behance. Yeah, apparently. Pete Barr is here. Pete, another fantastic illustrator and just designer, coder, everything. Pete can do everything. What do you want to hit first in terms of the things you sent me?
What do you want to go over next? We could ask the chat because there's someone was asking about creating sliders with GreenSock, like carousels.
Right.
So we've got that, but we could also go over prevent overlaps, which is something from the new 3.8 release, or we could go over container animation. Container animation is also really exciting. Or we could go over all of them just super fast.
All right. All at the same time would be perfect. No,
all at the same time.
If I think we should do the carousel one first, just to make sure that we hit it, because like that was the one that started this. So if we talk about everything else and like we didn't have time for that, that would be awfully mean to that person if we found them.
Awesome.
Cool. So I've got this open, which, by the way, chat, can we get some appreciation for this fantastic demo that Cassie put together? I mean, I love it. I love it. So did I drop this one in chat? I'm not sure yet. I'm not sure. So good.
Cool. So I guess like the best place to start with this is the one that it's forked from, because there's actually a helper function. We've covered helper functions before on your stream, but we could open up the helper function page maybe on the GreenSock docs, so that people know what we're talking about. So helper functions are basically, we always have a lot of questions in the forums, and occasionally Jack will kind of go off on a little bit of a genius tangent and answer one of the forum questions using a helper function. He'll just kind of create a little custom solution, and then he'll pop it in the helper functions for everyone to use. Is this V2 or V3 that we're looking at? This looks like V2.
Yeah, you're right.
Yeah.
Good eye.
So there's this huge list of helper functions. We're back on the docs now.
Oh yeah.
Okay. Go back and then just in the URL copy out
helper functions.
V2. Yeah.
Cool.
That's the one. And then copy V2 for V3. Swap V2 for V3.
There should be V3.
Oh, are we in V3?
Yeah.
Okay, awesome.
Yeah, I stayed in V3. Cool.
Yeah, so there's like a bunch of cool things in here, but we get a lot of questions about making sliders or like full page kind of carousel type things, infinitely looping as well. That's often like a request, and draggable. So if you go down to, where is it? Or up,
search for infinite.
There's like a...
Nope, that's not it. Tried to search for infinite, brought me to the end of the page.
Where's the one? It's the one about seamlessly loop elements along the x-axis. Yeah.
Whoa. All right.
Awesome. So.
Got it. So like a slider or newspaper.
And this is useful for a lot of things. Like we see people trying to make like marquees with lots of different text, which was a lot easier back in the old days.
When you just use the marquees.
Yeah.
Yep. You can still do it though, right? Like it's deprecated, but it still works. Can. Like, yeah. Got to bring that back.
We should bring back a lot of the old web stuff.
Web
so yeah,
we gotta make a web ring, Cassie. We keep talking about it. You need a web ring.
I do need to make a web ring. That would be the best.
So I'm scrolling.
So yeah, if you scroll down, there's some little code pens underneath that.
Oh, got it. So next.
And yeah, let's open this one.
Cool.
Or I mean, yeah. Open it. So if you click toggle overflow, you can kind of see what's going on. And now if you click through.
Next is broken for me for some reason.
Is it?
Yeah.
Click toggle overflow.
Next works. So if I hit toggle overflow, does it? Okay, now it's working.
Oh yeah, it's working.
Got
so
it.
You can see it's just taking an element out of the array and popping it on the end. Kind of looping around.
Okay, so the elements never actually go away. They're all there. They're just off the end.
Yeah, they're just getting
off. And so
appended.
Got it. As we go backwards, they just get popped on to the beginning. Yeah, that's a very tidy solution to that. That's nice. It's way better than having 2 times. Like you don't have any extra DOM elements, right? You're just switching the order really quickly.
Yeah, I think that's a really common thing, is to duplicate. So yeah, it's quite a nice solution. So if you go back to the horse one, we can take a look at the horse one.
Yeah, just real quick. The interesting thing to me though is that, are these all absolutely positioned, or oh no, they're being translated.
They're in a
So
flex container.
got it. But so I was checking here to see, are they actually moving, like in the DOM tree, right? But they're not. They're just being transformed. Like they're just, it's just a CSS animation that's moving them along.
Well, it's a GSAP animation, but using transforms.
Got it. Okay. So yeah, so like number one is still the top one, even when it's last. It's still first in the DOM tree, right? That's it. I was just trying to figure out, like, are they actually like shifting these up and down, which would be not very performant and probably very confusing for like for accessibility is what I'm trying to say. But basically, if the DOM's moving around a whole bunch, it might re-announce things over and over again, like this is a new element, or the order has shifted. I know for accessibility, you don't want to shift the order of things at all if you can help it.
Yeah.
Sure, Ben can chime in much more eloquently than I can here. But cool. So I'll go to the horse one as you said.
Yeah, we go to the horse one.
Cool. So what should I look at here?
I'm just opening it up because I can't read the code very well on your screen because it's
getting fuzzy.
It's just, I think it's because my internet connection might not be the greatest.
Got it.
It's
Okay.
like all fuzzy. Yeah. But yeah, we got some horses in a slider. And then if you scroll down, there's like loads of comments in here.
In the console or?
No, and just in the JavaScript.
Got it. Okay.
Yeah.
Cool.
So at the top, what we've got is we're just getting the wrapper and the images, and then we are using the helper function. So the line that says loop equals horizontal loop. Can you see it at the top?
At the top.
So that's the helper function.
Cool.
And then we're just passing in some things to that helper function. So we're saying, like, we want it to be draggable, yes, and we want it to be paused from the get-go.
So this is all we really need to get that effect with wow. So
yeah,
you're not kidding. Like he goes out and makes this helper function that just kind of takes care of it.
Does all the stuff. And I mean, it's stuff that is maybe too small or unimportant to be included in the GreenSock core, not quite big enough to be its own plugin, right. Stuff like that. So it's just like a kind of helper.
Yeah.
But yeah, nice and easy to utilize as well. So like a cool thing is if you go to like the on clicks, we've got like loop.next, and you can actually pass stuff into the next and previous as well. So they're methods that are added to like a returned timeline.
Where are those?
And then
missing those.
So right at the top before you get into the help function.
I see the for each on the image. I don't see the next one.
So document.query. Select underneath that.
Add there it is. Cool.
Listener click. Yeah, there we go.
Looking right at
so
it.
There's next and previous.
Okay, so we create this horizontal loop, and then we can call things on. All right, that's really, really handy just to have that.
So that's it's tweening to a particular place on the timeline. So the whole slider is a timeline, and then next and previous using tween to go to a certain place in that timeline. And you can use the vars object to pass in different things like duration, so you can make it slower or faster. And you could change the ease. So we could do like an elastic out, change it to like duration 1 second and elastic out. Yeah.
Waiting for it to like rebuild. I don't think it's still the same. Do I need to?
I think that might just be.
I just forced.
I think that's the previous one that you're looking at there. So there's a previous and there's a next underneath it. So if you copy that into the next as well.
I did the horse click one.
Yeah. That's what you want from a slider.
That's that's the
nice
least
and
jarring,
bouncy.
and that's what all users want, just to try to track a fast moving slider. That's not at all jarring. Or like a
Yeah,
5
awesome.
second elastic would be a
Yeah,
nightmare.
that would be great.
I have to say, there's definitely been sites that have this sort of monstrous over. They're just racing horses. And Sharmaji asked, "Can we blend this with Three.js for 3D effects?"
I mean, yeah, sure.
Yeah.
If you
Well,
you can do whatever you want if you've got the capability. I've got no idea how you would do that, but if you're good with Three.js, it's all just GreenSock and JavaScript at the end of the day.
Yeah, I think the question
there's no limitations really.
Overall is like, can you use GreenSock with Three.js? And I think that comes as a surprise to a lot of people, where it's like, oh, you can. Like,
yeah. So this is I think that a lot of people think that GreenSock's just like a DOM animation library. It's not. It can animate anything. So DOM elements or SVG or like just JavaScript
DOM.
objects.
I'm sorry.
Sort.
I laughed because I think you said dumb.
It's
just a
dumb
animation. Like people like sending
Alex.
you like mean emails. Like, GreenSock is such a dumb animation library. DOM. DOM. Got it.
That would make me so sad.
Right? Just like trash talking your animation library. It's a smart animation library that can do anything.
Yeah. It's very smart, and it can animate DOM elements, not DOM elements, and JavaScript objects, and pretty much anything. So yeah, you can use it with Canvas or Three.js or just WebGL stuff or SVG or normal DOM elements, all the stuff.
Just any properties that you want to animate, right? Like if it
pretty much
if it's a value, you can pretty much tween it.
Indeed.
Life in the chat says GreenSock graduated Magna Dom Loud. Solid fun, Life. Appreciate it. Awesome. So that's really like, because Jack saw this problem, I now no longer have to worry about it, because like I having to roll that by hand, like, can I kind of think about how I might do it? Sure. But then spending all the time rolling that and making sure that it works, and that would be
I mean,
at least a couple
there's some cool things in here. There's like one thing that I noticed when I was looking through it earlier was there's a little commented out bit where it's like snapping the pixels to a certain distance to accommodate flex layouts. So there's a whole comment about like if width is 20%, the first element's width might be 242 and the next 243, alternating back and forth to get rid of those pixel gaps in between. So Jack's kind of done a little snap thing in here to make everything look more natural in case of that. So it's just these little edge cases that you wouldn't
right,
if you were doing it yourself.
I would go, crap, I didn't think of this, right? And then you go in Safari and you're like, oh no, this thing is a mess here, right? Like, just for that to be taken care of for me is wonderful. And Pete brings up a good point. It's your Shakespearean accent that is throwing me off. The fact that you're speaking Shakespearean, of course.
It cracks me up. I told my boyfriend about that comment, and he was like, "Wait, fiance?" Told my fiance about that comment.
I was gonna say, I wasn't gonna out you there, but yeah, that's
got two of them.
Congratulations again.
He thought it was really funny that someone thought I sounded like Shakespeare, because he was like, "What, you're just loud."
You're projecting, but that doesn't mean you're on a stage. Like,
yeah.
I get the same thing.
The whole world is a stage.
Everyone accuses me of sounding just like Shakespeare. So I know exactly what you mean.
So yeah, if we kind of like dig in a little bit more to this helper function, there should be like, there's a lot there, but you should be able to find a bit that says inertia further down. So right at the bottom, there's like a little draggable bit. Finding it.
Here we go. If config draggable and type of equals draggable. Shit, where'd that go? Okay, here we go. Wait. There we go.
Yeah,
Cool.
so I mean, I think the cool bit about helper functions is that, you know, if you just want to get something working quickly like this, you could just like pass in the stuff that Jack's provided for you and get it going. But if you wanted to like tweak it for what you wanted, it's because it's just JavaScript and GreenSock, you can kind of figure out how to add certain bits. So like if you scroll down underneath this inertia plugin required, there will be like an inertia true option somewhere. Scroll down.
Right there.
There we go. Yeah. So that's creating the kind of throwable thing for draggable. So if you drag the carousel and kind of move that along, that used to be called throw props plugin. It's now inertia plugin.
So if I do
drag and let go, it'll kind of continue moving. But maybe you don't want that, so you could just take out that value, and then you wouldn't have the kind of draggable thing. Well, it would drag, but it wouldn't throw afterwards.
And I think we did we set that? Yeah. So if we just do false, right? That's also like in the config.
That would mean that it wouldn't be draggable at all.
Right.
But if you wanted it to be draggable but not throwable, you could take inertia out.
Yeah, so like right now I can't even drag it, but you're saying that if I want to drag it, but like when I let go, it just stops.
You just want it to drag by increments. Yeah, you could get rid of the inertia property.
Awesome.
And then let's scroll down. Let's find the bit where it's doing next. So I think that's just like one line. I just saw it. Yeah, so next you can see that this is it's scrolling, well, it's tweening to a certain point in the timeline. So let's wrap that in curly boys.
Okay. This whole thing?
So no, just so because we're going to add a few more things into that function. So just make it, so it's not just one line.
Super quick. I'm getting some like car sounds in the background. If you want to turn that crisp thing back on. Remember we turned it off for Brody?
Ooh,
just pop that back on. Is that back on? Sounds like it is.
Back on?
Yep. Awesome. Much better. Thank you. And Tivo says it's super cool when Cassie's here. I agree. People love it.
So yeah, in this next function now, like we could do things if we wanted to do things. So maybe underneath, let me just see this line. So we've got the to index. Yeah, go underneath the to index.
Okay.
And then let's just like console log out the current index. Just so we can like see something happening. And then if you click through on the next button.
Oh, right. I forgot I had to do a thing. I don't think it rebuilt. I'm not sure why it's not rebuilding for me.
Oh, you need to click run. Right at the top of the
got it.
Yeah.
I'm used to working in my own, so if I'm not working in my own, it's I've got to trigger it with each change. Got it. There we go. 1, 2, 3.
So
cool.
Now we're getting the number of the index back again. So then technically we could go like GSAP 2 underneath the console log. Make a little tween. And then we could get the image array. So say images. And then pass in the current index. And then do like a scale. So curly brackets again. Yeah, do scale like 1.2. And then we want it to like scale up and then go back down again. So do repeat 1.
Okay.
and yo-yo true. So yo-yo. Yeah,
There you got it.
like
Yeah.
that. And then if we run that and then click next.
Huh.
Oh,
That's really
so you
fun.
could do animations to certain elements because at the end of the day, it's all like all the helper function is just a starting point. So you could go in and write your own, like add your own tweens or customize it or change the timeline to do something different.
Right.
Um,
Yeah, because like it's not tucked away. Like I'm pretty much copying and
yeah,
pasting this helper function into my code, and
exactly.
so now it's mine to tweak.
Yeah.
That's really nice.
So it's yeah, it's just really it's nice to I really like helper functions because they're a good learning experience. You can like read through them and learn stuff.
That's a really good point.
Um
I honestly thought that this was going to be like import from GSAP slash helper function, and then it would just be kind of this thing that I have to throw properties into like here's my arguments. I don't know what's happening underneath, and I can look at the source code, but it's not like really obvious. But the fact that it's here,
yeah,
I don't know, it's
okay.
kind of nice. It just makes it a lot easier to go in and modify rather than having to like copy it off and do it that way. That's awesome.
Yeah. So yeah, maybe if we wanted like the center image to scale, let's make the center image scale.
Yes, would we
So if you do
do?
current index +1. Oh no, that won't
But
work.
then we got a wrap, so we
Interesting.
can do.
Yeah, we've
So
got a wrap.
GreenSock has a utility, right?
Wrap utils. Yeah. So we could do like let wrapped count above the go let wrapped count underneath the current and just
Uh,
above the
where did
GSAP
that
tween.
go? Where did that go? All right, here we
Down, down.
go.
Yeah, just above the GSAP tween.
Okay. Is that the right one?
Nope, down,
Nope.
down, down,
Where am I?
down, down, down.
Let wrapped count. Here we go.
There's the
Got it.
console
Thank you.
like do things. Yeah.
Thank you. Whew.
Yeah. Got it.
Lost
So do
my
you let wrapped count?
bearings entirely. Let wrapped count.
It's always hard doing like pair programming and in front of people.
Yeah.
Really
Yeah.
hard. So
It's
yeah, we'll use the the GSAP utils to make sure that it's wrapped. So if we say gsap.utils.wrap, and then we always want the range to be from 0 to how many images have we got?
Should we do
Can we
images.length?
do images.length? Yeah, that's the one. Let's do that. So 0 to images.length.
And then we pass the
Awesome. And
third
then
thing, or is
passing
that just it?
current index. So the next one, just do current index.
Cool. So that's the third
Yeah.
argument.
And then
So for people who aren't
awesome. And then it will make
familiar,
sure that the current index is always in the range from 0 to 6.
right. So in other words, if we only have 5 images and the number we pass in at the end is like 8, it'll wrap it back to 3 or something like that, right? Like it'll go 1, 2, 3, 4, 5. Well, it'll go 0. I'm screwing it up,
Yeah.
but
0,
that's
1, 2,
basically
3, 4, 5.
it wraps it
Yeah.
back around. Yeah.
Because if we do current index plus 1, we'll end up trying to animate like image number 7.
Yeah.
And that's not a thing.
Doesn't exist.
We don't have an image number 7. It doesn't exist. We'll
Yeah.
just get we'll get an error. So so now if we use wrap count instead of current index,
right.
because we're still passing
I was
current index
skipping
into
ahead.
that tween.
Where's my do things comment? Keep losing. As you like make the size
There it is.
smaller and bigger, there it is. Gotta just
Yeah.
say take to me
Yeah.
so I can find it.
That's
Okay,
what you
so
need.
wrapped count instead of current index, right?
Let's
Now
pass
we're
in
good.
wrap count. Yeah.
Whew. Let's see what we got. Huh.
Hey, awesome.
We never did the +1. That's
Wrap
why.
count +1. That's what we need to do.
Do things. All right, wrapped count. Oh, or is it current
Oh
index
no,
plus
our
one?
index +1. Yeah, current index
There it
+1. There we
is.
go. Glad we have each other.
Yes, that's the other that's the fun part of pair programming. There we go. As it gets there,
Yeah, look at our little
nice.
horsey
And the
guys.
chat helps me
Great.
out every time. Like honestly, it's like, is coding on stream harder? Yes, but at the same time, when I get stuck on things that I'm just like totally out of my depth in, there's someone in chat who's like, "Oh, here's how you do that. Here's I found a doc for that, or I know how to do that." So love the community being there for us as we're trying stuff out. But yeah, that's super cool.
So yeah, it's like
Nice.
it's as easy as you want it to be. You can just be like, make me a slider, and then it will just be made, or you can kind of fiddle around with the innards if you want. And it's using like X% to tween everything. So that means that if you resize the browser, obviously it still works. It's nice and responsive.
Awesome. I just my neighbor just started mowing their lawn, so I'm gonna be. I don't have Crisp in between us, so it's like an ad for Crisp, where you have it to cut out the background noise, but I'm gonna be like turning up and down my microphone thing manually because I'm like piped right into OBS. So if I start talking and nothing's coming out, it's probably because I forgot to turn it back up. So just let me know. Awesome. So is there anything else in this demo that we want to touch on, or do you want to check out some other stuff?
No, I think that's probably a
Yeah.
good overview of it.
I mean, we
And
basically
obviously, if you
followed the
have
same
any,
steps going backwards, right? Or for the
yeah,
draggable, you might
yeah,
follow something similar, but yeah. You're gonna say something?
exactly. Yeah, so if anyone's got any questions about the what's happening in the gubbins in the helper function, like Jack's in the forums a lot. So if you have like particular questions, you can go bother him in the forums. He'll be very happy to help. So yeah, the GSAP forums are really lovely and helpful, and it's like most of my job is to sit in there and help people. So
It's pretty awesome. And
really,
I love I love hearing from you about what a positive community it is and everything. So yeah, I hear nothing but good things about how helpful Jack and you and your coworker, who I always forget his name. I'm
like,
Blake. I am sorry. I don't know. I'm gonna lock that in. I swear. Every time I
and all the
go,
mods, loads of mods
lots
that
of
help out.
yeah, great
They're
people in that
all
community.
wonderful.
So yeah, and what Jace says is spot on. Where it's really awesome. And Tanner, great to see you. Good to see you, Tanner Dolby. Forums are awesome. Pete Brent also says the GSAP forums are a gem. See, like this is the community coming out and saying, yeah, absolutely, like they
Hooray.
are fantastic. And the cool thing about the forums is that half the time when you search like GreenSock and prefers reduced motion or GreenSock and whatever, you're probably getting a forum post if not the
Yeah.
actual like thing. So it's fantastic. Blake is a mad lad. Yeah, I would absolutely
Yeah, he
confirm.
is.
Yeah, for sure. Very,
It's quite
very
intimidating
talented.
working with Blake and Jack. It's
I
definitely
I
occasionally
would
you're
be
like, am I just really stupid?
I would be right there with it. Like, y'all are so smart. I'm just like, hey Ed, good to see you. Cool. So we wanted to check out. Oh, we checked this one out.
Yeah, let's have a look
This
at
was
some 3.8 release stuff.
awesome. Do we want to look at this one or something else?
Exciting things. Oh, let's look at go into the 3.8 article, the blog
Right here.
post,
Cool.
and then we can look over container animation.
Yeah, I don't know
Container
what that means.
animation.
Like, I'm thinking container
So
queries, but
no. So I sent you a couple of other demos in, yeah, so we've got this native horizontal scroll, and then there's yeah, the
horizontal. No,
like fake horizontal scroll. Did I send you that one? Yeah,
animated
animated
native.
horizontal scroll
Okay,
technique.
cool.
So to understand container animation, you kind of need to understand the difference between these two things. And so if we go into the native one first.
Cool.
So this is like native horizontal scroll. So if you scroll to the right using the browser's native scroll, you can trigger ScrollTrigger animations, right? So that's really cool.
Right.
And that's just like a part of ScrollTrigger. You can say if you scroll down in the JavaScript and take a little look, you'll see that it's got horizontal true. So
Cool.
yeah, horizontal true. So that's all you need to do horizontal scroll trigger animations. But if you go up to the HTML, Alex, and yeah, just comment in that first panel at the top and the panel underneath. There's like a little panel right at the bottom.
Oh, nope, hold on. I double
You got it.
commented it out. And now hit run for all those
Hit
folks who are
run.
brand new to CodePen and have never been on this site before, like me apparently.
I'll help you with CodePen. You help me with Discord. We'll get through it
all
together.
right, first step, delete your second account.
So now if you scroll down, you'll see there's like, okay, so we've got vertical scroll, and then there's like horizontal scroll in the middle. Sorry, there's a police car going past.
Okay,
Hopefully
got
the
it.
noise cancelling.
It sounded
But there's
like
this.
voice. It's fine now.
Oh, so then there's horizontal scroll in the middle. So you have to like stop scrolling and change your scrolling behavior in order to look at that section. And this is a thing that we always get in the forums is people saying, I'm trying to do like a page where there's like a vertical scroll and then it scrolls horizontally for a while and then it scrolls vertically. And I'm trying to do that all with the vertical scroll.
So
and
you're
that's
saying like
it's really
this and then this and then
yeah.
this.
And then
Got
that.
it.
So the way that you do that is if you go to the animated horizontal scroll technique. So yeah, if you scroll down vertically now, it's scrolling through that section.
Yeah. My bar isn't on
Yeah,
the bottom; it's on the top. Yeah, and first off,
on the
like
top.
that's where users go first, right? Like no one's scrolling sideways first. It's only if you're like,
And
why
also
isn't this working?
scrolling sideways is a tricky one because like I've got a magic mouse, got one of these, so I can scroll like vertically, horizontally. My partner's got a mouse wheel and he uses the mouse wheel. And he is often like scrolling with the mouse wheel and then nothing's happening, and it's because it's a like horizontally scrolling.
So the way I was just doing this is I'm holding shift to go sideways. So it's the thing. I mean, you know, like you get used to it, but yeah, it's not as easy as or if someone is on a laptop, it's super easy, right? They can go in any direction simply. But
Yeah.
but it's also just not what you think of first, right? So like on
Yeah.
that first one, I would be stuck scrolling down being like, why isn't this doing anything? So
Yeah. So the animated horizontal scroll technique is basically it's a scrubbed timeline. So the whole container is being, well, the sections in the container are being animated along the x-axis.
got it.
And then if you look at ScrollTrigger,
here.
so it's just the scroll tween. Yeah. So we've got a scroll tween, and that is you scroll up a little bit, we can see it. Up. Yeah, there, that's the one. Okay, cool. So we've got X%, and then that is moving the sections by 100% of their width times the position that they're in the array. So it's moving them along.
Okay,
and then we've got a scroll trigger.
The unit's baked in there, so it's like X%.
Yeah.
So it's -100 times the section length minus 1.
So that's their position in the container.
Okay.
So the first one will only move a little bit, and then the
it.
sections will move. Yeah.
Okay, that makes sense.
So it's pinning that section while it's animating as well. So I think maybe if we add a section on the top and the bottom in the HTML, we add another section.
I know that name. Good to see you, Joe. Sorry, I was just distracted by JS Joe. You said add something in the HTML?
Yeah, so add like another section. I think if you call it panel, it will just automatically take the styles on. So give it a class of panel.
Okay.
And then it should...
Seems like it did. Nice. So
Yeah.
just for proof in the pudding, just going up and down, chat.
If you
That's
add
really
blue on as
nice.
well to that panel, then you'll be able to.
You said blue?
There's no reason. Yeah, just make it a nice color because it's white at the moment, so it looks like it's broken. Yeah, there we go. So
Then
we
we got
scroll
back-to-back
down.
blue. That's my issue, Cassie. See, like I knew there was gonna be. I gotta go purple or something. We can't have
Purple. Oh yeah,
back-to-back
that's true. Can't
blues.
have.
Yeah, I gotta have some. It has to be
Yeah.
clear that it's changing.
So
That's
you'll notice that
fantastic.
there's an animation that's happening in this horizontally scrolled container. And now this is the magic bit, is that we're not actually scrolling anymore. We're in a scroll triggered animation. So we're animating that section. So if we were just trying to animate like we did with the native scroll, and saying horizontal true, we're not actually scrolling horizontally. We're not using the browser's native horizontal scroll, so it won't work.
Right.
So people in the forums were like, I want to scroll horizontally but vertically, and we'd help them. And then they'd go, oh yeah, but now I want to animate things within that container at certain points. And we'd go, oh, I don't know I don't know what to say. This is hard. And then yeah, Jack went away and figured it out. So now we have container animation. So
Wow.
all you have to do container animation is create a reference to the tween that's handling the X%. So that's scroll tween. And then if
Okay.
you scroll down to the box, the box animation,
That's this little guy right here, right?
that little guy, yeah, rather than horizontal true, we're passing in the scroll tween as the container animation. So it's saying this box is being animated inside this container, which is also being animated. So we've got a nested scroll trigger, basically. There's a scroll triggered
Oh,
animation
wow.
within another scroll triggered animation.
So, okay, so we're passing. Okay, we're giving it the bigger animation that it's inside. Does that have to be a scroll
Yeah,
trigger
Peter's
animation
like,
already?
ah.
Does scroll tween have to be a scroll
Yeah.
trigger animation?
This is
Okay,
a thing that only works with the
makes
horizontal
sense.
scroll technique. So
Okay.
it's
Um,
linked to the horizontal scroll technique. So the first step of it is creating um a scrolled horizontal scrolling container using the horizontal scroll technique, and then you pass that in.
got it. Um, and then within that, it like the start,
Just normal scroll trigger.
but it's
Yeah.
to that full. So it's as if this were part of this, like the full length. It's not like yeah. I don't have my question clear at all in my head. I'm still just like wow, okay, trying to like wrap my head around it. So I think the scroller
So it
start
just
is making
behaves like a
sense.
normal, yeah, just like a normal scroll trigger animation. So it's if you look at the GSAP tween at the bottom, it's just saying start when um the left of that element of the box that you want to animate. So the trigger, we've got trigger box, and it's saying start when the left side of that hits the center of the viewport. So you don't need to worry at all about the container that it's in. All
Got
you
it.
need to do is make sure that the container is being animated in that way. Um, and then the rest of it is kind of handled for you. And you can add scrub true, or you can use toggle actions. You can't do pinning, because that would be quite difficult to pin something within a container that's being animated. Um, so there's no pinning within container
Because we're
animation,
already
but
pinning the
you can
containers
use,
to pin the thing
yeah,
that's nested in there. Got it. Scrub is
yeah,
the
it
one
would be a bit
that
too
like gives me like a
complicated.
little bit of an ease, right? Like if I make this like two, it'll no.
Yeah, so scrub is tying it to the scroll progress. So if you comment out scrub and then comment in toggle actions,
Comment. Oh.
instead. So toggle actions is kind of like that's triggering an animation on a certain point. So this is saying play when we enter. So it's just
Ah.
playing it,
Okay.
and then it's not doing anything on leave or on enter back, but on
Got it.
leave back, it's reversing. So it's reversing when we leave back, and it's playing when we enter.
Got it. But scrub lets me kind
So
of go
that,
through and
yeah,
say
scrub
the
links it
progress.
to the timeline. Yeah, the scroll progress.
Got it.
So toggle actions will take like a duration. The default duration for GreenSock is 0.5. So that will be 0.5 seconds.
Okay.
And you can specify an ease. So you could say make it like bounce or elastic ease out or whatever. But scrub is linked to the scroll progress. So you don't get an ease because you are basically
you
the
are
ease.
the easer.
Like you're you're the easer. You're in control.
Yeah, but if you add time, it gives it a bit of a delay, right? Is that if instead of true I put like 2, it kind of like falls.
It'll take
2
seconds
behind.
to catch up. Yeah, catch up to the scroll progress.
Yeah, so like I scroll a little bit,
which is nice because it feels a little bit more natural.
Right. Yeah, that's cool.
So it feels like you're influencing it rather than just directly controlling the progress. If you have scrub true, as soon as you stop scrolling, the animation immediately stops. And that doesn't really feel like what you'd expect in real life from real life elements. Real life objects.
I love my elements. These are my. Can you show me some of your elements?
My real life elements. I've got these elements.
Very nice elements. I approve. Awesome.
Yeah, so a really important thing with the horizontal scroll technique, which I didn't cover if you scroll up, is that it's got ease none. Here? Oh, scroll up in the code. Okay. It's really hard to explain how to do things when you're talking about scroll stuff, isn't it?
I totally agree, like, yeah.
Scroll through the demo or scroll through the code. So yeah, you'll see that there's ease none. Now that's really important because that container animation, moving the container along, is tied to the scroll progress. But if we were to put a different ease on that, say like an ease out, it would be a lot faster towards the beginning and then longer towards the end. So you'd cover more space at the beginning as you're scrolling, and then you'd cover less space towards the end. So it wouldn't scroll in like a linear fashion.
Like one click of my scroll wheel would take me like 300 pixels to start, but then at the end it might be like 100 pixels or 50 pixels, right? Yeah. It's not going to be equal
exactly.
Throughout. God.
And that will throw off a bunch of things. So if you wanted to snap to certain progress points, you'd end up snapping like a third of the way through would actually be like 2/3 of the way through, and then another third would only be like another. Yeah, so it would just get very confusing. And also all of your scroll container animation scroll triggered tweens wouldn't get tweened at the right place.
Yeah, it gets really wonky. And Brent in the chat is saying, "Pin with a pin. What silly person would try that? It was them. You tried that." Yeah, no worries.
What you could do, I guess, to make something look like it's being pinned is you could animate it in the other direction. So as you're scrolling along the container, you could trigger a tween and animate that element the same distance in the other direction, and then it would look like it was being pinned. So I haven't tried that yet, but you could do that if you really needed to do pinning in a pinned.
If Jack could get us that helper function by the end of the day, that'd be really helpful. That's cool.
Yeah, it's so funny. The more things you give people to help, the more they're like, so now that's possible. What about this thing?
This was good enough yesterday, though. Scopes change.
Yeah, so container animation is super cool.
Awesome.
I think it's going to be really useful for people.
Yeah, no, I've seen this effect done, a bunch, but just it's like making this kind of thing easier. And then actually, I'm curious at the end, what happens if, can I put it, we want it here. If we put this there, what's going to happen?
It'll do nice horizontal scroll.
Oh, it worked perfect. See, because mentally, this is a Tetris block now, where it's that funky one, right?
You've gone along and then but it's not.
but
Like
it's not.
actually, it's one
Yeah,
block, and
and
then
it's
you're
just
still in the same
sliding the
place,
other
and
one
that block
across
is
it, right?
animating,
Yeah,
sliding, and then you're going down. But it does. It feels like a Tetris block, which is
yeah,
crazy.
yeah.
Yeah.
I was part wondering like if we're gonna kick out, it would be white, and then the purple would be over on that side. But no, that's super cool. That's fantastic. I'm gonna drop this in chat once again in case I see Brent wants to play with that. And yeah, really, really like that's a very small amount of code to get that effect.
Yep.
That's wonderful. And to anyone in chat, because this is one question that comes up very often whenever I talk about GreenSock, is but it's not free. And first off, we
This is
have
all
Cassie
free.
here. We have Cassie here only because of the paid plan.
Coupon codes.
Like so basically the way I see GreenSock is it's kind of like the freemium model, so to speak, where like 95% of the stuff that you're gonna need is free and incredible. Like the fact that that's free is amazing, and everyone should just be like, thank you. Like holy smokes, this is fantastic. Um, and then there are some premium plugins that make things like animating SVG between two SVG, like super magical stuff. Uh,
Yeah.
Way easier and actually just like possible. Like I don't know how I would do like turning one SVG shape into another one with very different point amounts and like that. That would
I've
be
tried it.
impossible.
I've tried it and it made me cry.
Yeah, it would be
Like genuinely made me
to
cry.
show people what I'm talking about, just so that plugins for GreenSock, it would be
But
here,
yeah, I
right?
think it's a very common thing. Like if you think of like Netlify, for instance, there's like the
Right,
free tier, and then there's
right.
like a kind of paid, oh, you want to put your certain sites behind a password, or you want like whatever
Yep,
the other
there's extra
like
features.
premium things are. But I think that it's just not a very common thing for like JavaScript libraries to have that. So people get a bit confused because we're just used to everything being MIT.
Right.
But because it isn't MIT, like I get to have a job and teach people, and
Yes.
we get to like constantly bring out new plugins, and we get to like offer so much support in the GreenSock forums, and like constantly work on things and make sure that we've got loads of browser quirks covered and all of that kind of stuff. So, and also, you could do that with corporate sponsorship, but you wouldn't be able to shape the direction as much. So it's
Right.
kind of everything's in the hands of us and our users, which is great.
Yeah.
And you can
And
help by joining Club GreenSock if
you
you would like. But if you
absolutely
don't want
can.
to, then that's totally fine.
Yeah. So just to finish this thought, like the reason I said this is that this demo you can recreate completely for free, right? Like this is completely within the free tier, right? This is one of the paid plugins, and you've got to tell me that this isn't worth $1 million where chat, like try to
$1
figure out
million. Yes.
how you would do this SVG tween, how you would turn that freaking plug into this freaking light bulb into these freaking letters, chat. Like just try to wrap your head around like, oh yeah, okay, I'm just gonna quit. I'm gonna quit my job. Yeah, so that kind of stuff is where it's just like, wow, that comes in so handy. So the vast majority of GreenSock is free, and I think I think yeah, like it's a very common model. Like I'm at Prismic, we have if it's okay, is it pricing jobs? Yeah, we go pricing.
Are
So
you
like we have
punting
a
Prismic now?
super generous free tier, and then like
Yeah.
so like same sort of thing where it's like once you start to get up to bigger things, you pay a bit more, but for the most part, vast majority of people who use it aren't going to pay anything. For GreenSock, by the way, it's 100% free on CodePen, so you are able to make everything like that SVG tween thing is free on CodePen.
Yeah, play
So
around with anything on CodePen. We're also about to chat about the fact that we've set up the same thing for Code Sandbox as well, and also for local hosting. So if people want to play around on Code Sandbox or on
Awesome.
their local host, they can. Yeah,
Oh,
we just
that's
haven't
wonderful.
shouted about it yet, but it is actually all set up. So
We can
that's
bring
really
Brody
good.
back in to shout about it towards the end,
Yeah,
if that's okay.
Brody, Brody.
He's so great. Um,
He's hiding.
awesome. Yeah, yeah. So I just wanted to clear that up because I have it so much where I'm just like, no, like part of it is
Yeah,
paid, but for the
it's a
most part,
frustrating
you
thing.
are probably never going to need to pay for it. And if you do, you got a really good reason. You've got a very good reason. You got a paying client, like, or it's a
Yeah,
CodePen thing and it's free. So, and
saves a lot
Pete's,
of time.
I've got a membership. Most, yeah, like Pete has Club GreenSock membership. I don't know. I'm not trying to
Yeah,
sell it.
it's
I'm just
totally
trying to
worth
say
it.
don't not try GreenSock because you think that you're gonna have to pay for it. Go try it. Go use it. Go have fun with it because it's a lot of
Yeah,
fun.
it's good fun.
Yeah.
I love GreenSock because I learned JavaScript through playing around with GreenSock, really. I When I was learning how to code, I kind of found SVGs and played around with CSS animation for ages. And it was loads of fun. But JavaScript terrified me because I came from a design background. And then I discovered GreenSock and I was like, wait, this is fun. This is super fun.
The
And
API
then
is
you can
easy
do
to
so
use.
much with just like a little bit of code. But then
Right.
obviously it was like, well, what if I want to do this? And what if I want to do that? So I started like learning JavaScript a little bit more. So yeah, it's a
It's a
great thing to
gateway
play
drug into
around with.
JavaScript. So if
It
you have
is. It's a
children, do
gateway
not
drug.
let them touch GreenSock. Never. You don't want your kids growing up to be JavaScript developers, so keep them away from it. Uh,
You'll go into their bedroom one night and they'll be shouting at people on Twitter about React, and you'll be like, "No, no, it's
I've
happened."
failed. I failed as a parent. Um,
Should I get the dog?
you can, yeah. We do have a question from Samuel
Oh,
Horn. Says, I wonder. I have a question for later. Been sitting with it all day. This is perfect. It's exactly why we're here, Sam. Um,
oh,
how to make this background infinitely repeatable in the best way. I know it's mainly a Three.js question since I need to make all the planes like an instance, not making more planes and repeat it somehow. But since it's using GSAP, I'm sneaking it in. so because we don't have an open because the Three.js forums aren't as popular, so
there's
we're gonna sneak this in.
someone's actually asked this in the GSAP forums. I remember seeing this
Ooh,
quite recently. I'm just gonna do
this is
little
cool,
Google.
Samuel. Yeah, I'm trying to think instances. I vaguely remember this. I know life in chat is good with Three.js. I'm trying to think who else in chat would be is is good with this stuff. I know we've had a couple of Three.js streams lately, and life has been very life pixel right there in chat has been helpful. So they might know. I'm not positive.
I
And Tom,
won't be able to find it now. I'll have to
no
like
worries,
actually scrub through the forums. But
no
there's
worries.
someone was trying to create. I think there was a really popular site a little while back, like an awards winning site that had images. It's like a big photo gallery, and you could drag the canvas around and you could
Got it.
see different
That
images.
that might
And
be
like a
what
lot of
Samuel's
people have
doing.
tried to recreate that. So I've seen that a lot in the forums, and there's been a few threads on it now. So I'll hunt down some threads
Awesome.
and pop
Samuel,
them in the Discord. One of the Cassies will put them
I
in
was
the
gonna say,
Discord.
yeah. So, Nightbot just dropped the link there. If Samuel, I'm not sure if you're in the Discord, but Cassie can pop that in there. And we have two Cassie Evans in the Discord. So if you have GSAP questions
One
there,
of them.
you are
Don't trust the bad one though.
yeah.
Only
The
trust the good
best part
one.
is they have different hair, so it's like you have to figure out which one because as you change your hairstyles, you update your little avatar. It's in minor ways. So I noticed the one that joined us today is blonder than the other
Yeah,
ones.
that's old Cassie.
There it
Don't
is.
trust old Cassie.
Yeah, so life says buffer properties maybe, and then you could basically do the magic scene for the slider previously. Interesting. For now, it's just 200 planes, but can't make it 200,000, right? guess it's a bit of a topic for now. It's a bit off topic for now though, but if someone knows, hook me up. Awesome. Awesome.
Yeah, I wonder whether you could use because I know like Three.js is largely just numbers. So
Right.
maybe if you find the right number, you can maybe use the GSAP wrap utility.
Awesome.
If you want, like maybe that would work.
Yeah, so that combined
But
with
yeah.
like instances. And Samuel, we had Luis Bizarro on a couple days ago. If you want to drop in chat and maybe we can tag him and see if he knows, because it's Three.js stuff. I don't know. We've definitely got some Three.js experts in there that we can tap in to help you out. So I love that you came with a question
Yeah.
though. Thank you so much for doing that. Love it. And Life is still helping out. Awesome. Thank you, Life. Cool. So did we want to touch on anything else?
We could go over prevent overlaps
Yeah,
really quickly.
what is that?
Be a good
That'd
one.
be perfect because I don't know
So,
what it is. I mean, I can guess, but I don't know.
what do you think? What do you think it does,
So like
Alex?
you
Ask the
know when you
chat.
have
What do you think
overlaps?
prevent overlaps
Yeah.
does?
Take guess chat. We're gonna we're gonna take a quick commercial here. When we come back, we'll answer your question. Um, no, but when you have overlaps, I don't want them. So if you could
Yeah,
help me
it
with that.
it prevents them.
Oh, nice.
It's great. Yeah. So yeah, find the demo that I sent you. I sent you a demo.
Fast scroll end, first section, animated scroll technique, seamless looping. I don't know if there's another one. Let me check.
Did I not send it? Okay, go
Maybe not.
to 3.8 article. I guess I just get to boss you
Might have
around.
like
Click on the tabs, Alex. Go to this place.
delete your email, but I don't want to. I said delete. Okay.
Give me your bank details.
Yeah. All
Okay,
right. Prevent
so
overlaps and fast scroll
prevent
end.
overlaps. So fast scroll end, aside from the UX side of it, it is also quite useful for preventing overlapping animations if someone's scrolling quickly. So prevent overlaps and fast scroll end can both be used for that purpose. And now I've seen it's hard to kind of explain without showing an example. But I've seen times when there's been an animation, like a kind of data viz type thing, and there's been some text on the left-hand side. And the animation, what people have wanted is like, when I scroll down to this section, play a bit of the data viz. And then the next section comes, and then the data viz changes. And then the next section comes. So it's like the animation is linked to the text, which is all well and good if it's scrubbed, because then all the animations are linked exactly to the scroll progress. But as soon as you've got a duration and it's not linked to a scrub, so say you hit that text section and the animation plays for 2 seconds, and then you hit the next section and another animation plays for 2 seconds. If you scroll faster than that, what's going to happen is the first one will be 1 second through, it will be half of the way through, and then you'll hit the next section and then the next bit will start. So you'll get this like overlapping animation. So prevent overlaps is basically here to stop that from happening.
Cool.
So if you click on the code pen,
This one?
yeah, let's open it up. Let's scroll down, and you can see the standard behavior on the top. So if you scroll down slowly, just super slowly, you'll see the blue section controls the first tween, and then we'll hit the next section and we'll get another tween, and the green section will get another one. So if you scroll down slowly, that's like the behavior that you want. And if you imagine this is like a data viz and you've got some text going on, and you want the first one to always complete, and then the second one completes, and then the third one completes. If you scroll down quickly now, or scroll up quickly, you'll see that you get this like all of them are playing at the same time. They're all kind of overlapping, and you don't really want that.
But on the bottom, it just knows I'm in
On the
section
bottom.
1. Let's get her to section 1. Same with that.
So
nice.
If you've got prevent overlaps and fast scroll end, it will automatically prevent overlaps and also scroll right to end state of
Oh,
each
that's
animation
why
if you scroll
it
fast.
was getting me to like to the end of 4. Got it, because of fast scroll
Yeah.
end, where
So if you
without it,
untoggle fast scroll end, it will just
it'll
play
it'll still
through
run
the
that animation
animation.
even though I went fast.
Yeah. So it
Cool.
gets any preceding scroll triggered animations, and then it forces them to their end state, but it will still play the one on the section that you're in.
That's fantastic. That's
Yeah,
Yeah,
which
that's
is
a
really
really
cool.
nice thing. I'm sure the DataViz people are going to be but I mean like DataViz is a great example. I'm not saying this is only for that, but like I know exactly what you mean where there's like the bunch of dots on the side that represent people or something, and then they shift around and they morph as I scroll to each paragraph. And I know exactly what you're talking about with that, but yeah, I can see this being used in lots of different ways. So yeah, I love how
And
you keep adding these features to ScrollTrigger just to make it a bit more useful for everyone, so you don't have to do this
yeah,
yourself.
I think it's the good thing about the forums is that we see people come in obviously with issues they're encountering, and sure, like we can't solve every issue for people. That would be very intense, and it would
Be
mean
the
that
dream.
ScrollTrigger and GSAP would get quite bloated in size as well, because obviously you can't just put every solution into the core library. But when you see something recurring, when you see a certain number of people all having the same problem, then you're like, okay, cool, this can be fixed. And prevent overlaps. Another good thing is when we were testing it out, we realized that you might not want all preceding scroll trigger animations to be forced to an end. You might have one over here that you want to just kind of carry on, and then this group of scroll trigger animations, you want to make sure that this group doesn't overlap. So rather than prevent overlaps true, you can also pass prevent overlaps and then a group name. Um,
Oh,
so like overlapping scroll triggers, and then any scroll triggers with that group name um, will be prevented from overlapping, but it will only look to those group of scroll triggers. So that's
awesome.
also really, really handy.
And so it's just a matter of prevent
This is just
overlaps
passing a
true.
Boolean.
Yeah, because that's just
Yeah,
coming
this
from
is
the
passing a Boolean
checkboxes.
at the moment.
Got it. Nice.
But yeah, you could say prevent overlaps and then just like a string that's the group name.
Awesome.
So yeah, those are some of the new
Lots
things
of
from
lots of great
3.8.
features in this. So I mean, if people want to get really good with GreenSock and learn, not just this latest feature on ScrollTrigger, but just like if someone today is like, wow, this GreenSock seems cool. I hear it's mostly free. I want to get into it. Where would you recommend that they go or read or what?
So I'm a big proponent of learning by playing, and I think that you can. I mean, I learned everything that I know by going through the GreenSock docs. There's like
Okay.
loads of code pens and examples, and then just making things. But if you do like to be kind of guided through projects a little bit more, Carl Schoof has his creative coding club, which is really good. Um, he's very good at like breaking concepts down, and he yeah, this is like what we at GreenSock officially recommend.
Nice. Got it. Very cool. Take care, Samuel. Thank you for coming through. Awesome. Yeah. So and you know there are lots of good um, YouTube videos and all kinds of blog
Yeah,
posts. I know that you've done some and digging through other people's stuff on CodePen. I think can be fantastic. I've learned so much about GreenSock by looking through your code pens, through Pete Barr's code pens, through a whole bunch of people's stuff. Going like, oh, I learned a ton about ScrollTrigger looking through Michelle Barker's Fish. That was really
yeah,
cool. Just breaking that down and being
that's a
like,
really good
oh,
one.
the way that she flipped it around as you would scroll up and down. I love that one.
You've got loads of good articles actually about GreenSock.
I actually do
I
have a
know this because I
couple.
was trying. Yeah, I was trying to find
Michelle
some
M,
articles the
M,
other day to punt, and like all of them were your ones. Like, and I was like,
that's
I can't
awesome.
send out an email newsletter with like entirely front end horse stuff. I
I
mean, I
mean,
could.
yeah, I mean, I do. No. um, am I am I spelling her name wrong? Uh,
Um,
it's Michelle Bart. Weird fishes. Here we go. Yeah, this one's super
yeah.
fun. Carl did the explainer video
Oh,
about
that's so
prevent
cool.
overlaps and fast scroll end in case anyone wanted a taste of his tutorials. Awesome. Thank you, Tom.
Yeah.
Appreciate it. Yeah, this one's just gorgeous. If anyone's a Radiohead fan, you'll appreciate this as you scroll through. Little fish, as fully CSS fish and everything. This isn't 3JS. Is
Yeah, it's
it's the
so
cool
cool.
thing. Yeah. And here, wait, it's coming. It's coming. Yeah, I love that effect. Turns into like the skeleton fish. It's so good. Yeah, she makes some fantastic stuff. Really fun little demo. So
Yeah, that one's great.
yeah. But yeah, so yeah, and front end horse, I mean front end dot horse if you want to go there. But I genuinely was not trying to plug my own stuff. I was like, who would you say is the prettiest at the ball? Like, who is just like the smartest smart person? But yeah. Oh, and Tom in chat makes Tom. Okay, quick plug for I.
Yeah,
Tom
Tom is
makes
under
fantastic.
repped because he's not
He's
on
not
the
on
social
Twitter. Tom,
medias
get on
as
the
much.
Twitter.
Yeah.
All the kids are there.
Don't do
Tom
it.
makes
Don't do
some.
it. It's
Yeah,
horrible.
it is the worst thing you can do
Horrible place full of shouty
next to
people.
raising your kid to being a JavaScript developer. It's like up there with that level of regret. No, you do some fantastic stuff, Tom. We've had Tom on the stream to build stuff out with us.
Oh, has he been on before? I haven't seen
Yeah,
that one.
yeah, he made
I must
a
watch it.
fantastic. Let me do it really quick, and then we can CodePen / creative.
Wait, do you have a horse-based motivational quote on your browser?
Yes, yes, I do. We built for one of the episodes a thing that takes too long to load it in, but yeah, industry is better. Has horse quotes. I built this with Killian Velkoff. Yeah, it's
I thought you were saying earlier that you weren't leaning into the horse stuff as much as
I'm
you
not.
could be. I think you
I
are.
think I could be more. I think I still could be more.
Oh.
Yeah, Tom made this awesome code pen with us.
Oh yeah, I saw this one.
Yeah, you click and destroy things. It's just fantastic.
Super cool.
Yeah,
I love
we learned
that.
about sprayed animation, all kinds of stuff in this one. So really great pen. Thanks again for coming on, Tom. Yeah, I mean, we got to have you back. I would love to have you back. Tom, DM me. I would love to have you back on to learn some more stuff from you. And Cassie, we've got you back on soon enough.
Hooray!
Let me
What am I
see.
doing? I forgot.
Who knows? Who
What am I
cares? It's just
doing?
gonna. I think it's Brody.
Something.
I have to rebuild the page.
just just Brody. Just Brody singing for an hour. Oh, we're doing
Honestly,
flip animations.
yes,
That's what
we
we're doing.
are. Yes. Awesome. We got Steve coming out. Okay. Chat. We've got a good. Wait, no. Wait, this is previous. No, sorry. Wait. Steve. Wait. This is old show. Sorry, chat. Sorry.
Get Steve on again.
I need to.
Steve is great.
I don't think he's booked right now. All right, so chat. We've got Cassie on today, so this is old. But yeah, Colby on Tuesday. We've got Luke Bailey who's making a super cool globe. We had a globe this week, but we're gonna have another one next week. It's gonna be cool in different ways.
Sick.
We've got. Do you know this guy? This guy Louis.
He's my favorite.
I know
Yeah.
he's fantastic. He's coming on to teach us how to make
Are we
a
gonna
Figma
fight
plugin.
over Louis now?
Yes. First, you won for George, but I'm pretty sure I knew Louis. No, I didn't know. Yeah, Kevin Lewis to teach us about Nuxt. Amit is coming on. Amit, if you're still here, I'm so excited for this. So Amit does some. Yeah, there it is. There he is. Does some fantastic 3D CSS stuff. Coming on to teach us that. Flip animation with Cassie. Leah is teaching us some GSAP and shaders. We're gonna be doing a twofer. So once again, GSAP can do pretty much anything, shaders included. Tim Benning's going to teach us about personalization on the Jamstack. I'm trying to get to the creatives for the most part, just because this. But yeah, speaking of data viz, we're going to have Amelia Wattenberger on. Kevin Powell, CSS Subgrid. Just got a whole bunch of great people coming on, and Steph is also scheduled to come on. You got a whole bunch of great people. So if you're not already subscribed or following, I forget what the term is, do that thing, because we're always doing fun stuff here. So if you are, I appreciate you. And we're going to end with a little Brody serenade. I think we knew it. There we go.
I had to go get him.
Turn the crisp off, and he can sing us out.
Oh, yeah.
Davies Creation says, shout out to Luke and the Green Community. I'm so excited for Luke. Luke made such a cool thing. It's going to be fantastic. Brody, Aru. Aru. Aru.
Very good. Very good.
So good, Brody. That's
good
very
job.
Good.
That was soulful.
That was a great song. That was a great song.
It was a good song. Oh, we're going for round 2.
It's so great.
2 of songs.
Oh my God. Chat,
Oh, so good.
I tried to get my dog to do this, so I'd go, Aru, Aru.
Good, buddy. Well done.
And I took a video, and he didn't do anything. And I sent that video to Cassie. Brody heard the video, heard me in the video going, Aru, and he started singing. I got Brody to Aru through Aruception. It was fantastic. He's just so cute.
Yeah,
so
it's not hard to make him do Roos. Is it?
But make me feel... Come on, you have to undercut.
Well, you're the first person who managed to get him to do an Aru from halfway across
the pond, right? Yeah, that's pretty impressive.
Yeah.
And we got Say Bye to Brody. He's my second favorite dog. Mine's first, but Brody's up there. He's great. You got a good one, Cassie. Cassie, thank you so much for coming on. I really appreciate it. If you aren't following Cassie already, please, I don't know which Cassie this is. This is one of the Cassies.
I'm the good Cassie, I think.
This is the good Cassie. This isn't the alternate universe bad timeline Cassie. So make sure you follow her on Twitter. She's all over the place. And she's also in our Discord. So join the Discord and you can ask those questions that you just, I forgot to ask her this question. One of her will show up and do that. Thank you so much to everyone coming through. We're going to find somebody to raid. Yeah. Cassie, thank you.
Awesome.
Do you want to say anything before we go?
Don't have anything to say.
All right.
Do you have anything to say?
Brody?
Woo woo. Yeah, there we go.
Perfect.
Brody always has stuff to say. Bye, folks.
Bye.
Bye.